Okay, the Jazz Age was also called the Roaring Twenties, and this period of time started in the 1920s after the war and ended in the 1930s with the Great Depression. Jazz music was started in New Orleans by the African Americans, and later the music spread all over America and from there over to Great Britain and France. Dance was also pretty popular at this time, and young people started to become more rebellious. For example, the flappers, who were young women ignoring social norms, not caring about rules, and wearing short skirts, bobbed hair, and tons of makeup. Equality for all was a big hit, and women also started working. Older people were shocked at the younger people. The Lost Generation is a term used to refer to the people who grew up and fought in World War I. The term was first invented by Ernest Hemingway, a writer who also fought in World War I. Hemingway was with a man called Stein getting his car fixed, and when the young mechanic failed to fix the car properly, Stein yelled at him that, "You all are a lost generation." Later, Hemingway used the phrase in several of his books. World War I lasted from 1914 to 1918 and involved almost all of Europe and the U.S. split between two sides, the Allies or the entreaty. Trench warfare was fought out in France for a long time, and most of the time the war was at a stalemate. Around 37 million people lost their lives, among these many of America's youth, hence the term lost generation. Many people also came back shell-shocked. The American Dream. The original American dream was one where anyone who was willing to work could settle in America, make himself a home, support his family, and live freely, all the while building up his riches little by little. What appealed to people was the fact that you were not hampered by social barriers or ranks. All men are equal. The Statue of Liberty was a symbol of this. When gold was discovered in California in 1849, the dream changed to get rich in an instant with little to no work. F. Scott Fitzgerald was one of America's greatest writers of the 20th century, and he was also a part of the Lost Generation. He was born in 1896 and grew up in New York, focusing a lot on writing novels. Going to Princeton, he signed up for the war in 1917, but the war ended before he had a chance to be on the battlefield. Later, he married a woman named Zelda. It was not a great relationship, also due to the fact that Fitzgerald was a heavy drinker and got a poor health from this. He later died of a heart attack in 1940. Fitzgerald has finished 4 novels and also wrote many short stories to America's youth, but The Great Gatsby is by far his most popular book.